Hello, friends. Welcome to A Life Rebuilt. In case we haven't met, my name is Laura, and I make weekly videos for people that are starting life over again for whatever reason, especially late in life. This week's video is a day late because yesterday I was celebrating. Well, not Valentine's Day, even though it was February the 14th. I did go to a birthday party for a favorite relative, and that was pretty cool. But the big thing that happened for me yesterday was that a nice young man named Fernando came with a big truck and he brought me a brand new washing machine from the local home improvement store. Now, getting a new appliance might be fun for most people, but for me, it was a really big deal. And here's why. Almost a year ago, my old washing machine started misbehaving. One thing after another broke down. At first, it wouldn't let cold water flow in. Um, I cleaned out everything I could get to and didn't find a clog. So, in order to get my laundry washed, since then, I have been filling it manually with a length of a garden hose attached to the faucet instead of attaching the faucet to the washing machine. And since water wasn't flowing in as it spun, as normally, I had to rinse everything twice. So that meant every laundry load I did, I had to go stand over the machine and fill it up 3 times. That was kind of an ordeal. And then the delicate cycle quit working. And then it started making odd noises. And then it decided it was only going to spin if it felt like it. So I've been making that old washing machine limp along for more than a year. And finally, after I got my tax return, I went shopping and I picked out a new one, and it's got fancy new features and it matches my dryer. And I was just so excited. But then the weirdest thing happened. The nice guy that delivered it, Fernando, he started up a load once he got it, everything connected. Was just running it through one load with just water in it. And he said, after it does that, then you can go ahead and use it. Well, as soon as he left, I couldn't help it. I had to lift the lid, which paused the load. It's one of these modern machines that senses everything. I discovered that I didn't trust my new washing machine. I was hovering over it like it was gonna break at any minute. And eventually I realized this is a trauma response. That old washing machine traumatized me. Now, that wasn't the first laundry trauma I'd ever had. Many years ago, I think it was around 2002. My husband and I moved in with my grandparents because they were suffering from dementia and they weren't safe on their own, but we wanted to keep them in their home. So my mom and her sister made arrangements for my husband and I to move in there so they'd have somebody to help keep them safe. Anyway, their washing machine was had some not quite as serious problems as the one I just got rid of, but it had some problems. I ended up accidentally overflowing the washing machine at least 3 times. And as I'm mopping up the water in the laundry room, my grandmother is standing there in the doorway asking questions, and it was a horrible situation. But now I have a brand new modern washing machine, and I'm only beginning now to trust it to just start a load and walk away. What does this have to do with starting life over? Well, I realized there are a lot of things from my former life that were related to reasons that I needed to start over, that were um, that had caused trauma for me. Um, Now, if you're not familiar with trauma, there's two different kinds. Um, there's big traumas, like you almost died, you were in a car accident, or you had a heart attack, or um, you witnessed a crime, or uh, those kind of things. Those are the kind of trauma, the big ones that cause post traumatic stress syndrome. But then there's complex post traumatic stress disorder, and that is caused by smaller traumas that happened over and over and over and over and over again. And uh, I had a lot of those in my previous life. And those are the kind of things we don't want to bring into our new life. So, what do we do about it? Um, if you can uh, go to therapy, I highly recommend it. Even if you don't have the perfect therapist for you, um, I think it can still help. Um, Now, if it's a really bad fit, that can traumatize you too. So, if things aren't working out once you're in therapy, don't be afraid to find a new therapist. Um, so, and if you think, oh, there's no way I could afford that, find out for sure. You might be able to check with your insurance if you've got insurance, and see if they cover that kind of thing. Um, yeah, so I highly recommend therapy. If you can't do that, at least find somebody that you can talk to about what happened. In my case, I have a cousin who's the same age as I am, and we were basically raised by the same people. So we share a lot of the same experiences, and even if we didn't have exactly the same trauma, um, we don't have to explain the details a whole lot when we're talking to each other about it, and that's pretty cool. Um, if you can't do that either, I recommend reading uh, books on the topic. Uh, Here on YouTube, there are therapists that discuss every topic under the sun. Um, I will find a couple of the ones that I've been following and put them in the links for them in the notes. So um, I encourage you to not let the trauma, little traumas or big traumas, that were a part of the reason you needed to start a new life, don't let those ruin your do over. Take action. In fact, before you make big steps to start anew, you probably are going to have to deal with the things that you're leaving behind. And by all means, do leave them behind. One important step, I think, is just realizing, analyze yourself. I mean, you don't have to be a what's the word? Psychoanalyst to analyze your internal life and your past. Decide what needs to be left behind. Decide what's gold and that needs to be carried on with you. I hope that you're finding the help that you need to get over those hurdles that your past has placed before you. If you have other ideas for setting aside the trauma that's been getting in your way, please share those in the comments. And I would like to I would like to have a community of us uh, that are sharing what we've learned in the comments. I think that would be awesome if this turned into a group, even if it's a small group. Sometimes small groups are better, uh, that are supporting each other in our life do-overs. So it helps me a lot if you would click like and subscribe. Uh, Click that little bell so that you get notifications the next time I post a video. And until that next video, be well, be at peace, love, and be loved.